we set it off. Here we go. Red lights, I could never stop. A dreamer with the fever to be great was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. A fighter with the fever for the fame was all I ever want, was all I ever wanted. Got me singing like bang, 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 bang. This fire's a weapon. Bang, 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 bang. Won't stop till we're legend.
Hello? Can you hear me? Is it on? It is on? Well, that's good. Because it's time for the third general session of the 88th Idaho FFA State Leadership Conference.
Everybody hands up, let's go! Put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up. Uno, dos, hands up, let's go.
Let's get up, let's get loud for your 2018-2019 Idaho FFA State Leadership Team. Let's go! Your state sentinel from the New Plymouth chapter, Kayla Johnston. The state reporter from CUNA FFA, Savannah Strobel. Your state treasurer from the Burley chapter, Melanie Searle. Your secretary from Filer FFA, Allison King. Your vice president from the Middleton chapter, Harrison Jensen Van Beek. And your state president from the Shelley chapter, Sadie Longhurst.
Let's go.
The session room will come to order. We are now holding this, the third general session of the 88th Annual Idaho FFA State Leadership Conference. Mr. Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they are at their stations, and report back to you, Madam President. The Sentinel.
Stationed by the door.
Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the president in maintaining order.
The reporter.
The reporter is stationed by the flag.
And why by the flag?
As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people, in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii.
The treasurer.
Stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements, just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary.
Stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor.
Here by the owl.
Why by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I am asked to advise you from time to time, as the need arises. I hope that my advice is always based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Mr. Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is the symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is a token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness and into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
Madam President, members and guests, I am pleased to announce that at this, the third session of the 88th Annual Idaho FFA State Leadership Conference, there are 1,351 members and guests present, Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. I now declare this, the third general session of the 88th Annual Idaho FFA State Leadership Conference, duly open for the transaction of business or attention to any matter which should properly be presented. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as the national anthem is played by Britton Bolgen from the American Falls FFA chapter. Life wouldn't be the same without dads, and our team is lucky enough to have two. From their grass-stained Nikes, Grill Master skills, and always reminding you to change your oil, dads have a signature mark they leave wherever they go. Please join me in welcoming your Session 3 chairs and our team dads, Harrison and Caleb.
I'm a moonwalker. I'm like empty up in the clouds. I know it sounds awkward. Filthy as sharks, filthy as sharks. You're a sweet.
All right, Harrison, I've got a new joke for you.
What's that?
Last night, I dreamt that I was a muffler.
Okay.
It was exhausting.
Okay. That one's not too bad. But I've got a joke for you.
All right, let's hear it.
How does a penguin build its house?
How's that?
It glues it together.
Oh, that's good. Okay. How about this one? Why did the bicycle fall over?
Why is that?
Because it was too tired.
Hey. All right, that one's pretty good, but I've got one more for you.
Okay.
I tried going on an all-almond diet, but that was just nuts.
I tell you what else is nuts, Harrison? How fast those Parley kids can rattle off emotion, and how quickly the freshmen can memorize the creed. In this session, we'll get to hear the state champions perform each of those events, in addition to hearing the retiring addresses of our state reporter, Savannah, and State Secretary, Allison. So let's get pumped for this, the third session of the State Leadership Conference.
Welcome to the show, welcome to the home of the world's biggest rodeo, where the stars light up the night underneath that Texas sky. Welcome to the show, are you ready for a ride?
To start things off, we're going to hear from one of our generous session sponsors. Without supporters like Pacific Northwest Farmers Cooperative, we wouldn't be able to find ourselves here today. Please help me welcome a representative from their organization to the stage.
The Palouse region of eastern Washington and northern Idaho are blessed with rich soils and annual rainfall totals that consistently provide some of the highest yielding dry land grain and legume crops in the world. Situated in the heart of this natural wonder is a family of farmers who are dedicated to providing the world with a dependable, high-quality source of food ingredients. Pacific Northwest Farmers Cooperative, known simply as P&W. Anchored in heritage dating back more than 100 years and spanning generations of homestead family farms, P&W has evolved from the humble beginnings of a single silo filled by horse and wagon to a network of more than 20 facilities feeding multiple barges, rail, and state-of-the-art processing terminals. Let's get one more round of applause for our sponsor, P&W.
We are Pacific Northwest.
We are producers.
We are innovators.
We are your local food source.
I'm your farm neighbor.
I'm your farm neighbor.
We're all farmers for a reason. It's because we love to grow things.
I grew up with a passion for it, and I love every minute of it.
We are farmers.
We are the future of food.
We are sustainable.
Reliable.
Dependable.
We are a big family.
We are generations.
a heritage. We are people.
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 We're all dependent on each other. It's a great way of life.
All of these fields around us we farm, and all of these are garbanzo beans.
On my family farm, we grow wheat, barley, peas, chickpeas, and lentils.
This is about 45 years I've been farming out here.
My grandfather built the farm up to allow my dad to farm and his brothers to farm, which then has allowed me to farm.
P&W is a great company to work for.
The company has been very good at developing a reputation for quality product.
We just think that quality is something that we hang our hat on.
We are quality.
Performance.
And family farming.
There's nothing better than working with your family. I love getting up every morning, and I wouldn't change it.
I'm living the dream.
We are feeding the world. We are the heart of the Palouse region.
Innovation in food.
Farming for the future.
We are crop production innovators.
We are the link between farm
And table.
We are the past,
Present, and future of agriculture. Your family farmer friendly.
grain and legume.
growers and suppliers.
Farmer cooperative.
We are Pacific Northwest.
We're Pacific Northwest.
We are P&W.
P&W.
We are Pacific Northwest.
Farmers Cooperative.
The Idaho Agricultural Teachers Association has been a longtime supporter of the Idaho FFA, and none more supportive than Mrs. Nicole Liebsack, who has spent the entire last year helping our association reach new heights. Please help me welcoming to the stage IATA President Nicole Liebsack.
Before school, on my son's first day of kindergarten, I asked him, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Excitedly and with enthusiasm, he said, "I want to be a bus driver." I was slightly surprised. My son had never ridden a bus before. When he came home that day, he goes, "Mom, I don't think I want to be a bus driver. Can I change my mind?" This was not surprising because that was a new experience for him. He had never experienced a bus ride, and as it turned out, it was not his thing. Idaho FFA members, this is exactly what you should be doing. CDEs, SAEs, being in the classroom, and conferences like this one are your opportunity to experience new things. Now is your time to discover who you are as a person, find your people, and explore your future careers. Your FFA advisors, we are here for you. We have your back. We will be there to help you find yourself, and that is the best thing about being an FFA advisor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Liebsack, for all that you do for IATA and the Idaho FFA. Let's get one more round of applause.
a really long instrumental, so just bear with us. It's a good 20 seconds, so. All those days watching from the window, all those times never, all those times never truly knowing just how blind I've been. Now she's here, shining in the starlight. Now she's here, and suddenly I know if she's here, it's crystal clear I'm where I'm meant to go. And at last I see the light, and it's like the fog is lifted. At last I see the light, and it's like the sky is blue, and it's warm and real and bright, and the world has somehow shifted. All at once, everything is different now that I see you. Now that I see
I'm just saying it's fine by me if you never leave, and we can live like this forever. It's fine by me, and it's never easy. Darling, believe me, I'm as skeptical as you. But when I think of life without us.
You know, Caleb and I get called dads quite a bit. This next group of individuals aren't all dads, but their job is to equip students with knowledge and wisdom. These 10 advisors were chosen last year to serve their districts, and we will now recognize them for going above and beyond for the students and teachers in their areas. Please help me welcome this year's district advisors.
Hi, my name's Brenna Dunworth. I'm from the North Idaho District. Julie Smith, thank you for all of your service this year, and we would like to welcome our incoming district advisor, Samuel Hoffman. Hey everybody, my name is Annalise DeVries from the Western Idaho FFA District, and on behalf of the entire district, I would like to thank our outgoing advisor, Mr. Corbett. And now I would like to welcome and introduce our new advisor, Mrs. Fugate.
My name's Wyatt Bell, and I'm from the Boise Valley District. I would like to thank Miss Frank for all the great times we've had throughout the year, and I would like to introduce Miss Pugh as the new Boise Valley District advisor.
My name is Colton Dahl, and I represent the North Magic Valley District. We would like to thank Miss Oy, an eligible bachelorette for all of you single men in the audience, for a job very, very well done, and always taking care of your students, especially when they lose their bag at Roaring Springs, and she lends them money for the week at Moscow. Thank you. And our new advisor is Mr. Hance from Glens Ferry.
Idaho FFA. My name is Caitlin Merkin, and on behalf of the South Magic Valley FFA District, please join me in thanking our amazing district advisor, Mr. Joseph Maxwell. Please help me in welcoming Mr. Derek Jones for the 2019-2020 year.
Hello, Idaho FFA. I'm Hadley Knutson from the East Magic Valley District, and I am proud to welcome Mrs. Fillmore. She was a great district advisor, and now I am proud to welcome Mr. Bird as our new 2019-2020 district advisor.
Hi, I'm Oakley Cheney from the North Upper Snake River District. I'm here with Mr. Wetzel, and we would like to thank him for a wonderful year as our advisor, and welcome Lex Godfrey as our new advisor, and wish him the best of luck.
Hello, Idaho FFA. My name's Isaac Lund. I'm from the South Upper Snake River District. I'd like to thank Mr. Fleming for a good job, and I'd like to welcome Cody Parks. Good luck.
Hi, my name's Herman Roberts, and I'm from the Southeastern Idaho FFA District. And we would all just like to thank Mr. Randall Apgood for all the hard work he's put into us. And we would just like to wish Katie Wells good luck as she is the new Southeastern Idaho District FFA advisor, and I know she'll do well.
I'm Cade Brackett from the Treasure Valley District, and I'd like to thank Ms. Drollinger for helping the Treasure Valley District find its feet last year. I'm also proud to introduce Ms. Rule, and I'm excited to see what happens this year.
It's been the last 5 years. Why is my mind on autopilot all the time? I'm feeling like the world's back on rewind. I can't seem to find the words to define the way I feel when I go through this. My mind's on autopilot.
We have the distinct honor to introduce an FFA member to you that exemplifies the values and beliefs of the FFA. FFA has taken her out of her comfort zone to practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and to develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. I have watched these skills grow in her for the past 5 years. She has embraced every opportunity with a big smile and a kind heart, making everyone around her feel like they are welcome. From the quiet, shy freshman in her first ag class to someone who's traveled all across the country, meeting some of the most powerful leaders in our nation. Everyone who meets her knows the passion and love that she holds for our organization, and I'm very proud to have had her as a student and an officer through the FFA.
Good evening, Idaho FFA. I am pleased to have the honor of introducing my sister to you.
Ever since I was little, I always remember wanting to be around Allison, except of course when she was playing dress up. I stayed as far away as I could from her when she was in that. But I don't know how much Allison actually liked me being around her all the time, but I just tell her that that's the reason why she is who she is today is because of me. To be honest though, this is in reverse. I've been very blessed to have the great example of Allison in my life. Allison is an exceptional person who always puts her all into everything that she does, and FFA is obviously no exception. Allison is a very approachable person who is kind to everyone that she meets. She always has a good answer to the daily questions of life and speaks with great wisdom. Allison has a strong personality and is always telling people to follow their heart and reach their dreams. Allison is simply an inspiration, and when she finishes serving in the FFA, I know that she will continue to inspire people throughout her life. I truly couldn't ask for a better sister. With that, it is our privilege to introduce to you your Idaho FFA State Secretary, Allison King, for her retiring address entitled Namaste.
Namaste. Who in here has ever taken a yoga class? Well, I decided to this semester, and I learned something very interesting that I want to teach to you. So everyone, stand up. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to make you do any crazy yoga poses. But what we are going to do is we're going to bring our hands to heart center. And as I say the word namaste, you say it back to me. Ready? Namaste. Namaste. Good. One more time. Namaste. Namaste. Nice job, everyone. You can go ahead and take a seat. Now, keep that in your minds because you're going to need it later. Now, imagine with me the year 2010. I was headed to the Twin Falls County Fair. I remember feeling the thrill of fair time, the smell of the food, all my family coming together in the draft horse barn and showing my dairy heifer. Now, this was my second year in 4-H, and I was so excited to show those Holsteins what was up with my Ayrshire cow named Pumpkin. Part of being at the fair was washing my cow every morning. One morning in particular, I was out on the wash rack in my pink rubber boots, my Levi cutoffs, and my cool club sweatshirt that said Bovine Brigade on the back. The sun was just coming up as I was waiting for my cow to hurry and dry off so I could get her back in the barn. My 10-year-old self thought things were going pretty good. I had a nice calm cow I had worked really hard on. I could sneak into the milk tank room after this and get a chocolate milk. And if I was lucky enough, I could tie my cow by the cute boy and say something like, I see you have a cow there. That's interesting because I do as well. Smooth, right? Now, Pumpkin was just about ready to head back in the barn, so I quickly went into the dairy barn to make sure she had fresh straw and hay waiting for her. As I came back out of the barn, I saw her standing on the wash rack, and as she went to move her head, I saw her red lead rope silently slipping off the fence. I quickly ran to go stop her, but before I could get there, she had already figured out she was free and was on the move. Sadly, me running had only scared her. And as the lead rope was almost out of my reach, I did the most logical thing I thought to stop her. I dove for the end of the lead rope and held on for dear life. However, being the tiny 10-year-old I was, it did not do much. I remember being dragged through the still wet grass thinking, stop, stop, I cannot be the kid that has their cow loose. I promised I worked with her. My arms couldn't hold on any longer, and the rope slipped from my hands with a stinging feeling. As I looked up from the ground, I saw my grandpa catching the cow and bringing it back to me. He held out his hand, outstretched to me. I took his hand and slowly stood up. I felt shaky. My side felt scraped, my hands were rope burned, and as I looked at my grandpa, tears started in my eyes. My mom came running up, asking if I was okay, and just about as I was ready to let the tears roll and sobbingly tell her what happened, my grandpa said, "Yeah, she's all right. You're not gonna cry. You're tough, huh?" I looked at him for a minute, and then I said, "Yeah, I am tough. And if Grandpa says I'm not gonna cry, then I'm not gonna cry." So I shoved those tears back in and said, "Yep." My grandpa handed me the lead rope, and I walked Pumpkin back into the barn, all clean and ready to eat. And then don't worry, I got my chocolate milk. When my grandpa said I was tough, initially I thought, tough? Grandpa thinks I'm tough? I just got drugged through the fairgrounds by my cow. But by him believing in me and helping me realize the strength in myself, all of a sudden, in that moment, I was tough. He saw in me something that I couldn't see in myself. Are we those people? Do we intentionally choose to see the light in others? Can we help them realize their potential? A quote I love so much says, "So many people find the dirt in others. Be the one that finds the gold." How often do we find ourselves pinpointing everything wrong in others when we could be helping them rise to their potential? We need to see them for who they could be, for the light in them. Even if it's a smile that day, we can reach out our hand and help others see the good in themselves. Now, on the contrary, don't we do the same thing to ourselves? We sit and we nitpick all our flaws and underachievements. Why aren't we better at this? And why don't I look like that? Other people see strength, good, beauty, and light in us. We need to be able to see it in ourselves. We can get up and become that strong, confident, good person if we take the initiative to do so. When I was elected to serve as the Filer chapter reporter the first year I ran for office, I was ecstatic. How fun this year was going to be, and it was. As the year came to a close and banquet season was coming up, it was time to put in chapter applications for chapter office again. I was headed into my senior year, full force and ready for a new experience. I placed my first choice as vice president, second secretary, and I could not wait for the banquet to find out my new position. I felt like I was rolling in the blue and gold. And then the moment came. The banquet was here. The outgoing president steps up to the podium. I feel my heart pounding, my hands sweaty. I was ready. She begins to announce the officers for the coming year. The Filer FFA historian, Molly Jenkins. As the Filer FFA sentinel, Carson King. And then it was time for my successor. I thought, how exciting. I will be able to install this new officer and give them advice for their coming year. As the Filer FFA reporter, Allison King. Wait, what? That's me. That can't be right. I'm already the reporter. I looked at my mom and then slowly, not really understanding, stood and took my place in the front of the room. I stood there kind of dumbfounded, like, what do I do now? My advisor came up behind me and said, "So you'll just install yourself when you get to the podium." I smiled and said, "Okay." But inside, my heart sank. I thought, how humiliating. Like, hold up. Is there even a ceremony to install yourself? No, there wasn't. But I got up there and I said what I was going to continue to do as reporter. I will inform the people and be responsible for compiling our FFA history. After the banquet, I congratulated all my teammates on their new positions. I talked, I laughed, I held it together until I got into the car with my mom. And then I cried and cried hard. I had remembered that I had put in my application to run for a district office in the next week. And that thought only plunged me deeper into my self-pity. I asked my mom how. How could I possibly even think of running for a district office when I'm not even good enough to move to a new chapter position? I was mad. I was hurt. And then my mom said, "Sometimes we are trimmed and shaped in a way we don't expect, but it's preparing us for something better." I took that potential my mom saw in me and I said yes. Yes, I am qualified. Yes, I am confident enough. Yes, I have something to offer, and yes, I am going to rock this district sifting next week. My mom was right. There was something else in store for me. I was elected to serve as the South Magic Valley District FFA President for the year 2017-2018. It was one of the best teams I have ever been on. They were exceptional people who helped me to grow and made the district better. And that chapter reporter office I was so bitter about turned out to be a major blessing. I was able to go on autopilot with my reporter responsibilities for the chapter and focus in on the district and the other obligations senior year brings. I can tell you right now, if I hadn't been on that team and had those experiences, I don't know if I'd be on this stage. I had to rise to that potential, that light other people saw in me. My advisors, my parents, the people sitting on that district sifting committee, they saw it. I had to be able to see it in myself to push forward to achieve the things I did. We have to be able to see the light in ourselves and rise to it. The light is there in each one of us. I have seen the light in you this year as I have traveled to your chapters. Whether you sat right up front, pen and paper in hand, or in the very far corner of the classroom and didn't say a word, I saw the light in you. I saw the light in a young boy who said his family made a pact to be better than his father who went to prison. I saw the light in the Shoshone chapter as they helped a struggling classmate. I saw the light in the Murtaugh and Hanson chapters as they stuck together in a time of tragedy. The Shelley chapter, the Buell chapter, the whole town of Kimberly. I saw people showing their light and helping others to recognize the light in themselves, whether they realized they were doing this or not. Being able to watch people find their light and see what they could be is one of my favorite things. I was so excited to see this happen at district officer training this past summer. At the last session of district officer training, we sat in chairs spread across the room and closed our eyes. We were all assigned a different group, like Group 1 or Group 4. And as your group was called, you would stand up, open your eyes, and a state officer would say a word like strong or creative. And then the people in that group standing up would go and touch a person sitting down that they thought represented that word or phrase. As they said the word confident, I touched Brenna's shoulder.
It was when I participated in this activity that I finally realized that I can make an impact in the people's lives around me by being, well, myself. I was so stunned by the amount of people who touched my shoulder in response to the different words and phrases being said, especially the phrase, "This person inspires me." This activity brought me to tears. I never in a million years would imagine that such an amazing group of people would see me in such a positive way. I now know how important it is to remain true to who I am and surround myself with people who love me. Thank you to all of those who have allowed me to be a part of their journey and who have helped me find myself in mine. Light in me is confidence.
When I heard the word determination, I immediately thought of Caitlin.
Determination, the quality of being resolute, firmness of purpose. This experience allowed me to see truly how much I can impact and influence other people. It helped me to understand that I can accomplish anything I set my mind to, no matter how impossible it may seem. It helped me to see that I can inspire others to do the same. The light in me is determination.
Kindness. I went to Allison.
During this activity at district officer training, I felt loved. I learned that when life tells you you're not good enough, you will always have your FFA family there to pick you up. I also learned that what I'm doing in FFA is actually making a difference in the life of those around me. The light in me is kindness.
These are your classmates, the people you sit by and talk with, that are in the same place in their lives as you. Other people saw their light. They were able to see their light, and they have risen to it. Not because they want to be in the spotlight or because they want to be better than someone else, but because they want to be the best version of themselves, whatever that might look like. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be first place at everything or become a CEO. Rising to your light could be finding a career you love, standing up for someone who can't, or being a good friend. That could be your light. Simply realizing that you have something to offer and having that desire to improve, that is rising to your light. Speaking of light, do y'all remember Namaste? Just like before, let's bring our hands to heart center. Namaste. Namaste means more than just the end of a yoga class. In translation, namaste literally means to bow. But symbolically, it means I recognize the light in you. And as the other person bows, they are saying it back. I recognize the light in you. My friends, God did not put us on this earth to fail, but to succeed gloriously. Intentionally choose to see the light in others. Reach out, lift them up. When you have been defeated, when you are at your wits' end, don't let the darkness consume you. See the light within you. You are kind. You are determined. You are confident. You are worth so much more than you realize. Find yourself rising to your light and becoming the person God intended you to be. Idaho FFA, namaste.
chair recognizes the delegate from the Filer chapter.
On behalf of the Filer FFA chapter, I would like to thank Allison King for showing us that even a small town can achieve great things. Mr. Chairman, I move to accept Allison King's retiring address entitled Namaste and commend her on a job spectacularly well done.
Let the conference minutes show that Allison King's retirement address entitled Namaste was unanimously accepted, and she is to be commended on a job spectacularly well done. Allison, our pal, you have touched countless members this year. Thank you for your big heart, your love of cows, and for being a good friend to all of us. You saw the light in each of us, and for that, I can never thank you enough. Idaho FFA, for the final time, your 2018-2019 State Secretary, Allison King. I'm supposed to tell another dad joke, but I should probably stop crying first. What do you guys call a fake noodle? An impasta, yes, thank you. Tell you what though, this next group of individuals is the real deal. They more than likely can out-debate, out-talk, and out-design you. Let's get ready for some extemporaneous speaking, parliamentary procedure, creed speaking, and floricultural awards. The FFA Creed was written in 1928 by Professor E.M. Tiffany, and it was adopted at the Third National Leadership Convention. After being amended at the 38th and 63rd National Conventions, it became what we all know and love today. Joining me on stage are the Creed-speaking LDE finalists.
The top 4 individuals in the 2019 Idaho FFA Creed Speaking Leadership Development Event, each receiving a $500 scholarship, are: in 4th place, from the Marsh Valley FFA chapter, McKeely Townsend. In 3rd place, from the Grangeville FFA chapter, Cheyenne Brown. In 2nd place, from the Wendell FFA chapter, Matthew Dahl. And the 1st place winner of the 2019 Idaho FFA State Creed Speaking LDE and representing Idaho in Indianapolis at the National FFA Convention is Brooklyn Lowe from the CUNA FFA chapter.
Let's give one more round of applause for all our Creed-speaking contestants. Parliamentary procedure is an important part of all our FFA experiences. It is an integral key to our conferences, meetings, and conventions. These next individuals can be counted on for being well-versed in parliamentary procedure and can participate effectively in FFA gatherings. Please help me welcome this year's parliamentary procedure finalists to the stage.
In the 2019 Idaho FFA State Parliamentary Procedure Leadership Development Event, your top 4 teams are: in 4th place, the Cambridge FFA Chapter. In 3rd place, the Preston FFA Chapter. In 2nd place, the Cuna FFA Chapter. And your 1st place team in the 2019 Idaho FFA State Parliamentary Procedure LDE, representing Idaho at the National FFA Convention, with each team member receiving a $500 scholarship, the Madison FFA Chapter. Your top high chairperson, also receiving a $500 scholarship, from the Madison FFA Chapter, Shaylani Wilcox.
All right, how many of you guys have experienced this? So, you're in the car, right? Your dad's up front driving. You're in the back seat, probably fighting with one of your siblings about something that really doesn't matter. And he says something like this: "Don't make me turn this car around." Or even better, my favorite, "Don't make me come back there." Like, sure, Dad. Come back here, see what happens to the car. If there's one thing that dads are good at, it's those long, or not the long, just impromptu speeches on those long family road trips. This next group of individuals are also experts at impromptu speeches, though theirs might be a little better than your dad's. Please help me welcoming to the stage the extemporaneous speaking LDE finalists.
Together.
The top 4 individuals in the 2019 Idaho FFA Extemp Public Speaking Leadership Development Event, each receiving a $500 scholarship, are: in 4th place, from the Kimberly FFA chapter, Gwen Shutt. In 3rd place, from the Meridian FFA chapter, Sydney Plum. In 2nd place, from the Rigby FFA chapter, Callan Anderson. And the 1st place individual in the 2019 Idaho FFA State Extemporaneous Public Speaking, LDE, representing Idaho at the National FFA Convention, receiving a $1,000 scholarship, from the Declo FFA chapter, Jacob Gerard.
All right, guys, I got another joke for you. What do you call a cultured plant person? A floriculturist. On Wednesday evening, FFA members gathered to compete in the floriculture CDE. They participated in plant identification, propagation, and floral arrangement, each putting forth their best effort to earn a trip to nationals this fall. Please help me welcome this year's floriculture participants.
The individual placings for the 2019 Idaho FFA Floriculture Career Development Event. Receiving a power clap in 10th place from the Kimberly FFA chapter, Emma Burgoyne. In 9th place from the Fruitland FFA chapter, Ellie Berry. In 8th place from the Shoshone FFA chapter, Sofia Gutierrez. In 7th place from the Nampa FFA chapter, Kimberly Sears. In 6th place from the Fruitland FFA chapter, Addison Considine. And the top 5 individuals receiving a power clap and a pin. In 5th place from the Cambridge FFA chapter, Morgan Wood. In 4th place from the Kimberly FFA chapter, Kindy Coleman. In 3rd place from the Fruitland FFA chapter, Megan Jensen. In 2nd place from the Fruitland FFA chapter, Addison Klebenger. And your first high individual receiving a $1,000 scholarship from the Shoshone FFA chapter, Megan Lewis. The top 10 teams receiving a power clap. In 10th place, the Rockland FFA chapter. In 9th place, the Troy FFA chapter. In 8th place, the Homedale FFA chapter. In 7th place, the Middleton chapter. In 6th place, the Meridian chapter. And the top 5 teams receiving plaques. In 5th place, the Cambridge FFA chapter. In 4th place, the Nampa FFA chapter. In 3rd place, the Kimberly FFA chapter. In second place, the Shoshone FFA chapter. And the first place team in the 2019 Idaho FFA State Floriculture CDE, representing Idaho at the National FFA Convention, with each team member receiving a $500 scholarship, the Fruitland FFA chapter.
Earlier this session, we saw a group of freshmen that worked tirelessly, not only to memorize the creed, but what it means to them personally. Now to give their demonstration of the FFA creed, our state champion, Brooklyn Lowe.
The FFA Creed by E.M. Tiffany. I believe in the future of agriculture, with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. Achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturists, in the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years. I believe that to live and work on a good farm, or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits, is pleasant as well as challenging. For I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life, and hold an inborn fondness for those associations, which, even in hours of discouragement, I cannot deny. I believe in leadership from ourselves and respect from others. I believe in my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly with such knowledge and skill as I can secure. And in the ability of progressive agriculturists to serve our own and the public interest in producing and marketing the product of our toil. I believe in less dependence on begging and more power in bargaining, in the life abundant and enough honest wealth to help make it so for others as well as myself, in less need for charity and more of it when needed, in being happy myself and playing square with those whose happiness depends upon me. I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community, which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task. Thank you.
Going, I'm gonna chase it. What's left of this moment, I'm not gonna waste it. Stranded together, our worlds have collided. This won't be forever, so I try to fight it. We're beautiful now.
Audio Jungle.
got the right timing this time. Let's wish our Creed speaker good luck as they prepare to go to nationals. All right, guys, as you can tell, Caleb and I love jokes, so I've got one more to lay on you. So a vowel saves another vowel's life. That first vowel says A-E-I-O-U. Get it? I-O-U. We also owe our ability to run FFA meetings effectively to those experts in parliamentary procedure. Here to demonstrate their own version of this process is the Madison FFA chapter.
Is there any new business?
Madam Chairman.
Owen.
I move to reconsider the motion that we have a parliamentary procedure contest in front of our student body.
Second. It has been moved and seconded that we reconsider the motion to have a parliamentary procedure demonstration in front of our student body. Owen, being the maker of this motion, you have first rights to debate.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I feel that we should reconsider this motion because whenever we were going to do it before, we weren't able to have a place to actually do it. Now we have information that we can actually do it in their classroom or in the cafeteria that they would actually be able to see us do it, so I urge you to vote for this reconsiderment.
Are there any further debates? Seeing none, we shall now proceed to vote. All those in favor of reconsidering the motion to have a parliamentary procedure demonstration in front of the student body, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no.
No.
Noes have it and the motion fails. We will not reconsider the motion. Is there any new business?
Madam Chairman.
Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I move that our chapter send 10 members to the 2019 Idaho FFA Summer Outdoor Leadership Retreat.
Second. It has been moved and seconded that our chapter send 10 members to the 2019 Idaho FFA Summer Outdoor Leadership Retreat. Elizabeth, being the maker of this motion, you have first rights to debate.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I stand in full support of this motion for several reasons. Last year with our officer team, we went on a retreat camping trip, and we were able to bond and grow so close to each other. I feel that this would be beneficial, especially for our newly elected officers coming up. I also know that we will have our banquet at the end of the month and lots of leftover food, and this would be a great way to put it to use before it goes bad. For these reasons, please vote for this motion.
Madam Chairman.
Maddie.
I am for this motion. The FFA mission statement says that the FFA mission statement is to promote premier leadership and personal growth. This is going to be an amazing opportunity for our members, but I feel that we need to find out some more details about the summer outdoor leadership camp, and we need to figure out all the things of how we can send these members and what we can do for an application process to sort the 10 that we are going to choose. So for these reasons, I urge you to vote for this motion.
Madam Chairman.
Derek.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I am for this motion. A couple of years ago, I had the opportunity to go to the National Dairy FFA, or National Dairy Leadership Conference, and it was a lot of fun, and it helped me a lot with my leadership skills, and I think something like this could do the same for FFA, so please vote for this motion.
Madam Chairman.
Bella.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I am for this motion. We could send our newly elected officers and involve our junior high officers in the FFA motto. It states learning to do. We could send these members and have them learn more leadership skills to help our chapters. Vote for this motion.
Madam Chairman.
Owen.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'm in favor of the spirit. However, I have a few questions. First of all, how exactly are we going to make this application process? And are we going to let the younger members go or the older members because they have more seniority? And when exactly is this going to be? There's not really a date on here. So without this information, I can't put my full support in this motion, so members, I urge you to vote against this motion.
I rise to a question of personal privilege.
State your question.
It is getting warm in here. May I remove my jacket?
This is indeed a question of personal privilege. However, since this is an official meeting and official dress is required, I must deny your request. Are there any further debates?
Madam Chairman,
Maddie.
I move to take a 5-minute recess to further discuss the motion informally.
Second. It has been moved and seconded that we take a 5-minute recess to further discuss the motion informally. Are there any amendments? Seeing none, we should now proceed to vote. All those in favor of taking a 5-minute recess, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no.
No.
Noes have it and the motion fails. We will not take a 5-minute recess. We are now back to the main motion. Are there any further debates?
Madam Chairman.
Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I move to amend the main motion by adding on May 24th.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we amend the main motion by adding on May 24th, so that the motion would now read, I move that our chapter send 10 members to the 2019 Idaho FFA Summer Outdoor Leadership Retreat on May 24th. Elizabeth, being the maker of this motion, you have first rights to debate.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I amend this main motion to further explain my thought process. I feel that on May 24th, school will be out. This would be a wonderful time for our members to come before they go on vacations or get busy. And this also won't conflict with our events at Moscow held in June. For these reasons, please vote with me and amend the motion.
Madam Chairman.
Bella.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'm against this amendment. May 24th is graduation night and the last day of school. Kids will be leaving for vacation or spending time with their families and seniors. It is also the same week as the lamb weigh-in at the fair, so many members will not be able to attend this camp, so vote down this amendment.
Madam Chairman.
Derek.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I am against this amendment. I know that this time of year, it would be a terrible idea to do something like a camp, especially when it is the worst weather around Idaho. And also, I believe that this isn't a good time for all of our members because we're going to be planning our trip for Moscow, even if it's not going to conflict with the time that it happens. So for these reasons, I urge you to vote against this amendment.
Madam Chairman,
Maddie.
I am for this amendment. This is something that we can get done on May 24th. We have enough time to plan it and enough time to talk with our advisors and make sure that it goes through. I also feel that it'll give our members enough time to get out of school and get prepared for this and then not have a conflict with our Moscow CDEs or any of their fair projects coming up in August. So for these reasons, I urge you to vote for this amendment.
Madam
I rise to
Chairman.
parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Can a chapter standing rule be suspended using unanimous consent?
A chapter standing rule may be suspended using unanimous consent.
Madam Chairman.
Owen.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I disagree with this motion because, like a previous member said, May 24th is our graduation day, and that's at least 13 to 15 seniors that are not going to be there to share their leadership and experience with all the younger members, and our advisors are going to have to be there, and I just don't feel that this is going to turn out as well as we think it's going to. So I urge you to vote against this amendment.
Madam Chairman.
Bella.
I call previous question.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we call previous question. All those in favor of ending debate, please rise. Thank you. Please be seated. All those opposed, please rise. With 5 in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, the motion passes. And we will call previous question. We are now going to vote on the amendment. All those in favor of amending the main motion by adding on May 24th, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no.
No.
Noes have it and the motion fails. We will not amend the main motion. We are now back to the main motion. Are there any further debates?
Madam Chairman.
Derek.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I move to limit debate to one debate per debatable motion.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we limit debate to one debate per debatable motion. Are there any amendments? Seeing none, we should now proceed to vote. All those in favor of limiting debate, please rise. Thank you. Please be seated. All those opposed, please rise. Thank you. Please be seated. With 1 in the affirmative and 4 in the negative, the motion fails. We will not limit debate. We are now back to the main motion. Are there any further debates?
Madam Chairman.
Owen.
I move to fix time to which to adjourn, that when we adjourn, we stay adjourned till we reconvene in the Ag Shop on the next Tuesday of the month at 7.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we fix time to which to adjourn, that when we adjourn, we stay adjourned until we reconvene at the Ag Shop on the first Tuesday of the month at 7. Are there any amendments? Seeing none, we should now proceed to vote. All those in favor of fixing time to which to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no.
No.
Ayes have it and the motion passes. And we will fix time to which to adjourn. We are now back to the main motion. Are there any further debates?
Madam Chairman.
Maddie.
I move to postpone the main motion definitely to the next regularly scheduled meeting.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we postpone the main motion definitely to the next regularly scheduled meeting. Maddie, being the maker of this motion, you have first rights to debate.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I feel that we should postpone it to the next meeting so that we have enough time to plan out the details that we would need, and we can talk to our advisors, and we can figure out the sifting process that we would use to get these 10 members decided out of our chapter. And so I feel this is going to be something very, very beneficial. So for these reasons, please vote for this postponement.
Madam Chairman.
Owen.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I disagree with this postponement. If we postpone it definitely, we're not really going to focus on it. We have members that have to worry about their Project Citizen, which is coming up, And I just don't feel that we're going to have enough concentration on this. It's just going to get lost, and we're not really going to care about it in the future. So I urge you to vote against this postponement.
Madam Chairman.
Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I agree with the previous speaker. I feel that a referral would be a better option. If we were to refer this motion, it would give a group accountability for dealing with this instead of the motion getting lost. I also know that by that time that we would postpone it definitely, that we would have a newly elected officer team, and this is a very difficult motion to handle right at the beginning of their office. For these reasons, please vote down this postponement.
Madam Chairman.
Derek.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I am for this postponement. I know that if we postpone this, it will give us time to talk to our members and our FFA advisors and find out if we have the funds to do this or if this is something that's even possible. So for these reasons, I urge you to vote for this postponement.
Madam Chairman.
Bella.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'm against this I'm for this postponement. We can get all the information we need and talk to not only our chapter advisors, but our junior high advisor and see if our members or officers could be able to go vote for this postponement.
Are there any further debates? Seeing none, we should not proceed to vote. All those in favor of postponing the main motion definitely until the next regularly scheduled meeting, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
No.
Ayes have it and the motion passes. And we will postpone the main motion definitely to the next regularly scheduled meeting. Is there any new business? May I remind the Assembly that we will reconvene at the Ag Shop on the first Tuesday of the month at 7. Seeing as there is no further business, this meeting is adjourned.
Join me in congratulating your 2019 Idaho FFA State Parliamentary Procedure LDE winners.
You got a thing or two to learn about me, baby. 'Cause I ain't taking it no more, and I don't mean maybe. You don't know right from wrong. The love we had is gone. Hey, blame it on your lying, cheating, cold, dead beating, two-time and double dealing, mean, mistreating, and loving hard. Well, all I wanted was to be one and only, but all I ever got from you was being lonely. Lay that dream to rest. You have failed the test. Hey, blame it on your lying, cheating, cold, dead beating, two-time and double dealing, mean, mistreating, a loving heart. Are you headed for a heartache? Oh yeah, gonna get a bad break. Oh yeah, made a bad mistake. Well, you're never gonna find another love like mine. Someone's gonna do you like you done me, honey. And when she does you like she'll do you, it ain't funny. You need some sympathy, so don't go calling me. Hey, blame it two-time and double dealing, mean, mistreating, a loving heart. Are you headed for a heartache? Oh yeah, gonna get a bad break. Oh yeah, made a bad mistake. Oh yeah, well you're never gonna find another love like mine. Someone's gonna do you like you done me, honey. And when she does you like she'll do you, it ain't funny. You need some sympathy, so don't go calling me. Hey, blame it on your lying, cheating, cold, dead beating, two-time and double dealing, mean, mistreating, a loving heart. Hey, blame it on your lying, cheating, cold, dead beating, two-time and double dealing, mean, mistreating, a loving heart.
I was halfway in the grave and then I looked up and saw your face again. You pulled me out of the water, water, water. There's no turning back. Nothing in the
Hi guys, I'm Isabella Strobel. I'm Savannah's sister.
And I'm Heidi Tovar, and I'm her sister too. My oldest sister, my best friend, and the person I look up to. She makes me laugh with her random dad jokes when she says she's the queen of Snapchat, or when she actually tries to remake Vines and she fails at them. I'm not an FFA, but Savannah has told me so many stories and opportunities she's gotten over her 5 years of being an FFA. My favorite memory with her was in the summer of 2015. Savannah was painting her showbox for her students, and she asked me to help her. When we got done, there was some leftover paint, and we got the idea to paint our hands and print them on the concrete porch of our house. To this day, it remains there, and we will forever cherish those memories. Savannah has taught me to never give up on my dreams and to always chase them no matter what happens.
Savannah, we have so many memories together, it is hard to pick out the best ones. Between her staying up half the night to help me make chairman for the novice parley team, to having Just Dance parties at midnight. And for any of you who have met my sister this year, you might know that she can't dance. And speaking of things that Savannah just can't do, she cannot cook to save her life. She can't resist singing as loud as she can in the shower or the car. And she can't go to Hobby Lobby without buying every single cow picture that she owns. In my closet, I have a bag this big full of cow pictures. But the one big thing that she can't do is stop loving this organization. She always puts others before herself, no matter what. That is one of the things that I love most about Savannah. Idaho FFA, this year you have gotten to know my sister through events and visits, and it is truly impossible not to love her instantly. I'm extremely happy and proud that I got to see her grow as my chapter president, district FFA president, state FFA reporter, and best of all, my sister. Idaho FFA, please help us in welcoming our best friend and our sister, your 2018-2019 state reporter,
Savannah Strobel, for her retiring address entitled Living to Love.
Life be the proof of your love. Let my love look like you and what you're made of. How you lived, how you died, love is sacrifice. So let my life be the proof of you.
She said, you're gonna be a light in the cold world. You got extra love pumping up in your veins. To all my people feeling down and my people feeling empty, I got so much of this love, I've gotta give it away. I've got so much of this love. gotta give it away. For as long as I can remember, I have loved words. Books, quotes, poems, scripture, lyrics. Just like the lyrics to the song I just sang. I've got so much of this love, I've got to give it away. Words are impactful to listen to, but there's an immeasurable amount of power when we say them out loud. No matter where we come from, we all have at least one song, one book, one quote, or maybe one verse that simply makes our souls happy. What are some words that make your souls happy? One of my favorite ways to express my love of words is through music. Now, I come from a pretty musical family where my mom sings, my grandmother sings, my siblings are all in the choir and they play instruments. So you can imagine that no car ride or family gathering was ever complete without the sounds of music. In fact, some of my favorite childhood memories involve music, like when my mom sang the national anthem at the 4th of July, or when my siblings and cousins and I would get together and write our own songs and choreograph our own dance moves. Music has a special place in all of our hearts, but more importantly, it's the lyrics that truly matter. Our family love of music began with my great-grandmother, who was a singing missionary for most of her adult life. In all of my memories of her, she was either singing or preaching. I remember at every family holiday, I would patiently wait my turn for my grandmother to pull me aside and ask me how school had been. I would tell her all about my friends, my classes, and my teachers, all while she smiled and held my hand. And I remember thinking, man, I wish that I could love others the way my grandmother does. She is always living to love. My grandmother traveled to 8 different countries, including Indonesia, Latvia, Lithuania, and South Africa, sharing her love of the gospel using nothing but the sound of her voice. She used her words to pour love into others from all around the world, showing them a love that they may have never been able to see before. Before she passed away earlier this year, my great-grandmother told me that her purpose in life was to share the love of God and to serve all of his people. Her passing drowned me and my family in sorrow. Yet, even through the ache, I can feel her love washing over me. Her love continues to live on and to serve the hearts of others. Now, a few months ago, I met a similar woman to my great-grandmother while I was in South Africa. She was working in a gift shop at one of the game lodges that we stayed at, and she shared with us that she was a gospel singer. She then sang for us, singing with pure, genuine, and authentic love in her voice. It was the type of singing where she had her eyes closed, her hands in the air, and she swayed with every breath she took. It was also the type of singing that made my eyes well with tears and my skin warm with goosebumps, because it was in that moment that I realized I was experiencing the same feeling that my great-grandmother had given to so many other people. She was serving my heart. What these two women have in common is not only their passion for music and for Christ, but their intentional way of sharing love through their voices. They served and enriched the lives of others not through giving material things, but through the gift of little moments filled with unconditional love. We have the opportunity to give these little moments every single day because of the breath that fills our lungs when we wake up each morning. Our ability to love out loud is no small part of us because our words and our voices impact the lives of others. When we say or do something kind for a friend, family member, or even stranger, we are reminding them of their worth. And we are sharing with them how much they are loved. Because, honestly, most people don't need things. They just need to know that they are loved. They need little moments given to them by others to feel that they are appreciated, to feel that they are valued, to feel that they are worthy, and to feel that they are loved. Now, one of my favorite ways to give little moments is through writing letters. I absolutely love sending letters to friends, family members, or even FFA members to say that I love them and that they are important to me. But I remember the moment that I received my own letter of kindness from one of you. While it was in the form of a text message, a girl named Dalis told me that she appreciated my friendship and that I inspired her. This little moment was enough to make me stop in my tracks and let a few tears fall from my eyes. Because she had no idea that I had been feeling lonely because I missed my family and friends back home. But she did choose to remind me that I was appreciated, that I was valued, that I was worthy, and that I was loved. Over the course of my year in state office, I have been given lots of these little moments through meeting FFA members from all around the state. From all around Idaho, you have welcomed me with friendly words and welcoming hearts. And even though I was on the road for a good chunk of this year, you taught me that I was never truly away from home. But when I travel back to my roots, to the great town of Kuna, Idaho, I know that I will always find my family there to love and support me in every obstacle that I face. Because, like every single person in this arena, I've faced some bumps in the road. Some were small, like when I got a bad score on the SAT. I remember feeling like my score was tattooed to my forehead for everyone to laugh at. But what this taught me is that my intelligence does not come from a number. Some of these bumps were more frustrating, like when I was sick for 3 weeks of my state officer travel. I remember feeling like I had let others down. But this experience taught me that I can't pour from an empty cup and that it's important to take care of myself. Yet, one of the biggest bumps in the road that I have faced is when my biological father decided that he didn't want to be a part of my life. Before I was even able to speak or understand, my heart had already been broken. There were days that I wondered what it was about me that was so unlovable and what I could do to change myself, to make my own father want to love me. But despite this continuous challenge, I have learned that storms do not always come into our lives to destroy us. Sometimes they come to clear our paths. If this man who was supposed to be my father had decided to be a part of my life, I wouldn't have the strongest and kindest mother. I wouldn't have the 2 men who stepped up to raise me. I wouldn't have the amazing siblings that make my whole world turn. I wouldn't be on this path, decorated in service and in love. Through the absence of my biological father, I have been blessed with 2 stepdads and a father in Christ who have taught me what true love really is. Now, both of my dads have done the normal things like giving us long life lessons in the car and
grilling hamburgers in the backyard, and yelling at the football game on the TV, even though I've told them they can't hear you. But they've also said and done things that I will never be able to thank them enough for, like taking off of work just to come see me present at the elementary school science fair, or making my favorite food when I come home from college, giving me advice when I just don't know what to do, and teaching me that love should not come with conditions. They recognized my broken pieces, and instead of running from their sharp edges, they loved me anyway. They taught me that my broken pieces do not inhibit me from feeling love, but rather give me the capacity to love others more deeply. Because we don't love people when they have it all together. We love them for the beautiful mess that they are. And when we love them right where they are at, we are serving their hearts. Have you ever thought about just how powerful our words really are, but how easy it is to just say them? 5 words. Hey, have a good day. 4 words. I care about you. 3 words. I love you. 2 words. Good morning. 1 word. Hey. All it takes is a few breaths or a few seconds to remind somebody that they are loved. In fact, why don't we all take a few seconds to look for the gold piece of paper taped beneath our chairs? Take a moment and read my words to you. Idaho FFA, the sad truth is that not everybody in this arena has felt that they have been loved unconditionally. I know that. I haven't always. But I am here to tell you that as long as I have air in my lungs and a heart beating in my chest, that I will be living to love you. My family and my experiences have taught me how to love. 5 years in this organization has taught me the importance of living to serve. But what each and every one of you have taught me is that service equals love. Live to love others. Love without bounds. Love without condition. Love especially when it is difficult. Love because He has commanded us to love others as He has loved us. Idaho FFA, service does not always have to be with your hands, but it should always be with your hearts. And if we want to live to serve, it is time that we start living to love.
Hello, girl. It's been a long time, but I'm through. Building castles in the sand, watching dreams slip through my hands. Hello, love. I am running back to you.
The chair recognizes the delegates from the CUNA chapter.
Savannah, when I was a freshman, you were always the upperclassman that would encourage not only me, but my peers. You always make sure to build others up and encourage everyone. You have encouraged and pushed me through my years in FFA, and I know that you will continue to encourage anyone and everyone you meet. Thank you for always smiling, rocking out in the car to Hannah Montana, staying positive, and most of all, thank you for your amazing service over this past year as the Idaho FFA State Reporter.
Savannah, without you, I would have never gone to SLC my freshman year.
Your encouragement and comfort got me to where I am today, and I thank you for it. You're the most loving, inviting, and magnanimous person I know, and you encourage not only me, but everyone else you meet to strive to do so as well. Savannah, you are my role model as a person, as a student, and as an FFA member. We love you.
Mr. Chairman, I move to accept Savannah Strobel's retiring address, Living to Serve,
and commend her on a job exceptionally well done.
Let the conference minutes show that Savannah Strobel is to be commended on a job exceptionally well done, and that her retiring address entitled Living to Love was unanimously accepted. Savannah, your warm smile and heart lights up every single person that you come in contact with. I have been so blessed to get to know you over the past 4 years and have you as an unconditional friend through that time. Not only to get to serve this year, but last year with you and watch you make an incredible impact on everyone that you come in contact with. I am forever grateful for the lessons that you have taught me and that you have taught me how to live to love. Idaho FFA, for the final time, your 2018-2019 State Reporter, Savannah Strobel.
Man, I tell you, it's hard to make so many dad jokes crying. All right, Harrison, let's close out this session so we can put something on that's more comfortable.
Right on, brother. All right, Caleb, I've got another joke for you.
Yes.
What do you call a cow with 3 legs?
What's that?
Lean beef.
Oh, that's good. All right, Harrison, what do you call a cow with no legs?
What's that?
Everyone knows
got
it. Ground beef.
Hey, Caleb, what do you call a cow with 2 legs?
Your mom!
In this session, we have seen multiple CDE teams awarded, heard from our generous session supporters, and heard the retiring addresses of our State Secretary, Allison King, and State Reporter Savannah Strobel.
This week, we hope you find yourselves making a few less corny jokes than we did tonight. But if you found yourself laughing, then make sure to find yourself at the next session tomorrow morning.
Madam Secretary, do you have record of any further business which should now be transacted?
I have the following announcements. We ask that the state degree recipients meet in the foyer at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Please note that the location of the Idaho FFA SLC dance has moved from the CSI Arena to the Twin Falls High School Gymnasium and will end at 11, not 11:30. If you lost something in the session, please come to the stage after session and we might have it.
Does any member know of any new or unfinished business which should properly come before this session? We are about to adjourn this, the third general session of the 88th Annual Idaho FFA State Leadership Conference. As we mingle with others, let us be diligent in labor, just in our dealings, courteous to everyone, and above all, honest and fair in the game of life. Fellow members and guests, please rise in a salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I now declare this session adjourned.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
Chelsea Simmons, your debit card has been found backstage. Chelsea Simons. Also, a wallet has been found of Cade Lagarde Warner and a cell phone.
Started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air." I begged and pleaded with her day after day, but she packed my suitcase and sent me on my way. She gave me a kiss and then she gave me my ticket. I put my Walkman on and said I might as well kick it. First class, yo, this is bad. Drinking orange juice out of a champagne glass. Is this what the people of Bel Air living like? This might be alright. But wait, I hear the prissy, bourgeois and all that. Is this the type of place that they should send this cool cat? I don't think so. I see when I get there. I hope they're prepared for the Prince of Bel Air.